ugly. Now, before we start with the present perfect tenses, let's see what is tenses first. Now, the tense of a verb shows the time of an action or an event. It also indicates the state of an action. For example, it tells you when that action is being taken or at what state that action is in. For example, I'm giving here 3 examples are given. I am writing a letter, I wrote a letter, and then I shall write a letter. So there are 3 states of action. The first sentence is simple present tense. Why? Because it refers to an action which takes place at present. I am writing a letter. Second sentence refers to an action which took place some time ago in the past. So it is past tense. I wrote a letter. Then the third is I shall write a letter. So the third sentence refers to an action which will take place in the future. So which is called as future tense. So there are so many tenses. So here in this part we will be doing it in detail in your grammar portion. So here now we are going to see the present perfect tense, present past perfect tense and future perfect tense. So other details we will do later. So what is the present perfect tense? So present perfect tense is used for something that began or has happened in the past but is completed or holds importance in the recent times. So something which has happened but it is also having an importance or it is still continuing. And we use has and have with a participle, as I have given you here in the a subject plus has have plus participle will be there with the sentence. For example, I have finished my work. Now what does it say? I have, I is the subject, have or has whatever, finished which is the past participle or the form of the verb, my work, whatever sentence you're forming. So has or have will be there. He has shifted to new house. So this is how past is the past perfect tense. Now, as you see, past perfect tense is used for something that has happened in the past and refers to the time in the past. For example, as you can see here, in the form is in the like we saw in the present perfect tense, subject plus you use the word had plus the participle or the third form of the verb in the past perfect sense or whatever verb, like if you're using writing, dance, work, so uska participle form in the past perfect tense will be used. For example, when you see the example you'll understand better. I had finished my work. So I is the subject, had plus past participle form of the or the third form of the verb in the past perfect tense is the finished my work. You had left when he arrived. So you the subject, so I had, you had. So had is the word to be used there. So that is how past perfect tense is done. Tense. Now what is future perfect tense? Expresses the idea that something will occur at a specific time or before another action in the future. There is something which is going to happen in the specific time when it is going to happen, or before some action is going to something is going to happen, before that it will happen. So you have a perfect idea about that. So that is how future perfect tense comes. And always we use will have with the past participle or third form of the verb. So whatever verb, so third form of the verb you use with that. For example, as I have shown you here, it will be the form is like subject plus shall have or will have. You can have both, okay, plus past participle form of the third form of the verb. You have to change accordingly. If you use shall have, what you use will have, you will see in the examples as I have given below. I shall have written 2 books by the end of this year. So you are fixing a time by the end of this year you will have written 2 books. He will have become a doctor by this time next year. So you are sure that by this time next year he will have become a doctor. The train will have left by the time you reach the station. So by the time you reach the station, the train will have left. So will have left. So this is future perfect tense. Now let's see the exercise how we on the present perfect tense. Complete the following sentences using the present perfect forms of the verbs given in the bracket. So you have to use has or have accordingly to the sentence. Our team has played, P-L-A-Y-E-D, played brilliantly in all the matches. I have read this book. So have, has or have. So I have read this book. Renu has planted trees in the neighborhood. Eva and Amar have missed their important meeting. We have made shelter for dogs, for stray dogs. Peter has decided to quit smoking. So you'll see all these sentences. There is a subject, that is our team, I, Renu, Eva, Mar, we, Peter. Then you have has or have accordingly what you want to the sentence. Then play becomes played or whatever it is accordingly, the past participle form of it with the sentence of whatever it is. So of the form of the verb. So this is how you use the present perfect tense. Read the following using the past perfect forms of the verbs. Now, after everyone had, so you have to use had always, had danced. So you're using dance become danced. The judges announced the winner. Sheena told me that she had gone. Go becomes gone for a walk. Lena had lived all her life in the UK. He had written. Write becomes written. So this is the past perfect forms of the verb. Written 3 books when he suffered a stroke. I had worked. Work becomes worked in this factory when I was 25. They had met earlier when they were kids. So the dance become danced, go becomes gone. So these are the past perfect forms of the given verbs. So this is how you change it. So fill in the blanks with the future perfect forms of the verbs given in the brackets. So as the form is, we'll have to use will have. By the time she reaches Mumbai, she will have driven about 200 kilometers. I have not travelled much. However, by the next year, I will have seen the whole Europe. She will have found her secret friend by tomorrow. By the time they get here, we will have waited for them for 4 hours. She will have changed her residence by May next year. The clouds will have disappeared when we reach